The big question we have to answer now is, what will it do over 70 years? What will it do to young children who have just been born? We don't know the answer because we cannot devise experiments that will give us such a 70-year answer. So if we err at all, it must be on the side of caution in order to protect future generations. And when I say future generations, I mean that literally, because one of the bad pollutants, ozone, for example, has been shown to fracture chromosomes. And this is what may lead not only to abnormal growth, like cancer, but possibly even to abnormal births. What has been happening is that we view the air and the water as a free sewer. It's not a free sewer. The environment will not tolerate continuous exploitation. At a certain point, it will tolerate no more, and at that point, we're going to have to come to grips with it and come to some accord with the environment if we're going to build a better life that all of us really want.
More people, of course, means that you start to chew up your supply of natural resources. And this is this curve here, the N curve, that shows that slowly but steadily the pool of natural wealth in the world, natural resources, minerals, oil and so on, is slowly but steadily diminishing. So this is the situation. As population increases, the quality of life decreases and the supply of natural resources decreases. The population increases up to 1980, pollution increases. There's more rubbish. But from 1980 to the year 2020, pollution really takes off. This is assuming, of course, that we don't do anything about it. So the year 2020, the condition of the planet starts to become highly critical. And if we don't do anything about it, this is what's going to happen.
This planet is threatened with destruction, and we who live in it with death. The heavens reek, the waters below are foul, children die in infancy, and we and the world, which is our home, live on the brink of nuclear annihilation. We are in a crisis of survival.
This is what keeps the sun from shining in on Philadelphia. Hundreds of tons of soot, smoke, fly ash, dust, sulfur dioxide, hydrocarbons, metal fumes, organic matter, odors and malodors on each and every day. And it all comes from places like this, the city's top 10 polluters.
Good evening. A unique day in American history is ending, a day set aside for a nationwide outpouring of mankind seeking its own survival. Earth Day, a day dedicated to enlisting all the citizens of a bountiful country in a common cause of saving light from the deadly byproducts of that bounty. The fouled skies, the filthy waters, the littered earth. As a demonstration, its success was mixed, beyond expectations here, far below there.
Because the effects occupy more than a human generation, there is a tendency to say that they are not our problem. Of course, then they are nobody's problem. Not on my tour of duty, not on my term of office. It's something for the next century. Let the next century worry about it. But the problem is that there are effects, and the greenhouse effect is one of them, which have long time constants. If you don't worry about it now, it's too late later on. And so in this issue, as in so many other issues, we are passing on extremely grave problems for our children when the time to solve the problems, if they can be solved at all, is now. I think that what is essential for this problem is a global consciousness, a view that transcends our exclusive identifications with the generational and political groupings into which by accident we have been born. The solution to these problems requires a perspective that embraces the planet and the future, because we are all in this greenhouse together.
There has been a nuclear accident in the Soviet Union, and the Soviets have admitted that it happened. The Soviet version is this. One of the atomic reactors at the Chernobyl atomic power plant in the city of Kiev was damaged, and there is speculation in Moscow that people were injured and may have died.
What's more, there's been an even sharper increase in other, even more potent greenhouse gases, which absorb energy at different wavelengths, retaining even more heat in the atmosphere. Nitrous oxide and ozone, mainly from traffic. Methane from cattle and rice fields. And new to nature, the CFCs, used as blowing and cleaning agents and refrigerants. These other gases could soon be absorbing as much radiation as carbon
I
dioxide.
think the time has come to ban cars completely from city centres.
I think the government that proposed to ban the motor car wouldn't be in government very long.
Do metal that are in fact polluting the atmosphere with noxious fumes.
It means they can get from A to B. It gives them freedom.
Time now to take you to a different place where peace, love, and whales take a look at outer space. Go weaving and a gliding is graceful as lace. I'm never losing touch with the ocean's embrace.
Global climate disruption represents one of the single greatest threats to our future. This view, which I've just expressed, is based on a mounting body of data which establishes beyond any reasonable scientific doubt that emissions of greenhouse gases are changing our climate. If we ignore the scientific warnings and continue stubbornly on our current course, we'd better begin to prepare what we would like to say to our children and grandchildren. Because if they encounter the terrible consequences the scientific community is saying now come as a result of global climate disruption, and then look back at the evidence which was clearly laid out for us in our generation, they might fairly ask, if you knew all that, why didn't you do something about it?
Dear friends, today we celebrate the entry into force of the Kyoto Protocol. From now on, industrialized countries that are party to the protocol have a clear obligation to reduce emissions. The protocol will also generate resources for developing countries to help them deal with climate change. I call on the world community to be bold, to adhere to the Kyoto Protocol, and to act quickly in taking the next steps. There is no time to lose.
Hello, Earth. Just popping in to brighten your day. La 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 la. And now I'll be on my way.
Not so fast, Sunbeam. We're greenhouse gases. You ain't going nowhere.
Oh, ah, oh, ah, oh, God, it hurts.
Pretty soon, Earth is chock full of sunbeams. They're rotting corpses heating our atmosphere.
When some of these children who are here are my age, here's what it's going to be in less than 50 years. You've heard of off the charts. Within less than 50 years, it'll be here. There's not a single fact or date or number that's been used to make this up that's in any controversy. The so-called skeptics look at this and they say, so? That seems perfectly okay. If we allow that to happen, it is deeply unethical.
This is all wrong. I shouldn't be up here. I should be back in school on the other side of the ocean. Yet you all come to us young people for hope. How dare you? You have stolen my dreams and my childhood with your empty words. And yet I'm one of the lucky ones. People are suffering. People are dying. Entire ecosystems are collapsing. We are in the beginning of a mass extinction, and all you can talk about is money and fairy tales of eternal economic growth. How dare you?
The jury has reached the verdict, and it is damning. This report of the Intergovernmental Panel on Climate Change is a litany of broken climate promises. It is a file of shame, cataloguing the empty pledges that put us firmly on track towards an unlivable world. We are on a fast track to climate disaster. Major cities underwater, unprecedented heat waves, terrifying storms, widespread water shortages, the extinction of 1 million species of plants and animals. And this is not fiction or exaggeration. It is what science tells us will result from our current energy policies.